What's good, y'all? It's your boy Max. Vlogging is something that I started doing consistently this year, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. But to be honest, I wanted to start years ago, and I feel like the biggest thing that always held me back was overthinking what gear I should buy and use. I feel like this is a big thing that holds a lot of small creators back, especially when you're starting off with zero equipment whatsoever, because there's always a new camera coming out, there's always a new piece of equipment coming out, your favorite YouTuber's always making a breakdown video showing off their $10,000 setups, and we're just here thinking, damn, how am I gonna make videos as good as theirs when my equipment is nowhere near as good as theirs? So you just get stuck in that mindset of thinking, I gotta save to buy the very best equipment so I can be as good as them, and by the time you have enough money to get it, or by the time you get it, it's already outdated. And that's why I feel like two important things that I had to come to realize and understand is A, stop comparing yourself to your favorite creator, bro. You're not them. You're not gonna have the same setup as them. Your videos are never gonna be the same as them, so stop comparing yourself to them with every single little thing you do. And B, you really do not need the best equipment out there to start vlogging, bro. A lot of my favorite vloggers don't even really have expensive cameras. They be using GoPros, they be using their iPhones, their Samsungs, they be using the DJIs. Like, you do not need a $5,000 camera to get started. It is really about what you do with the equipment that matters the most. So to all my people who are new to vlogging or thinking about getting into it, in today's video, I wanted to go over all the essential pieces of gear that I think you need to get started. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so the first and most important and most expensive thing you're gonna need on this list is a camera. And before you go think about spending hundreds or thousands of dollars on a camera, my biggest recommendation is use what you already have. You gotta see if you even like vlogging first, bro. I've known people who went and spent $2 grand on a camera, tried vlogging, and then they're like, yeah, this isn't really for me, and now that camera's just sitting on their desk collecting dust. So try to use what you already have. Maybe you have a camera that's been lying around in your house for the last few years. Maybe you could just even start off with your phone, bro. Most phones have good looking video nowadays. They shoot in 4K, and you could get a decent looking vlog out of one of them. It might not look as nice as a $5,000 Sony camera, but do you really need that when you're starting off, bro? You don't. You really don't. But let's just say you do want to buy a camera. My biggest recommendation with that is buy a camera that works for you. Me personally, I really like having very small pocket-sized cameras, and that's why every camera I've ever bought has been really small, where I could just put it in my pocket, put it in my bag, and take it out, film a vlog, and do what I gotta do with it. I just know personally, if I have a giant setup, I'm gonna be less likely to take it out the house and go record outside, and that's why I really value having a small camera. But some people are the complete opposite, and they like going outside with a giant setup. It's really about what works best for you. So when you're looking to buy a new camera, don't go based off what your favorite YouTuber does. Go based off what you really think is gonna work for your needs and get you to make the most videos that you can make out of it. All right, guys, moving on to the next thing on the list, and that is something for audio, because nobody wants to watch a video with trash audio. You've probably heard other creators say before, but you could get away with crappy video, but you really can't get away with crappy audio because nobody wants to listen to that. Depending on the type of camera you have, the in-body mic might sound pretty good. I use the Sony ZV-1, and the in-body mic is pretty decent when I'm doing most vlogs, especially if you pair it with like a dead cat. But if you want to step your audio game up, I definitely recommend getting a mic, whether that be a lavalier mic, a shotgun mic, something. This way the audio always sounds good. The mic I'm using right now for this video is this Rode shotgun mic that I just plug onto the top of my camera. I picked this mic up years ago, and it still sounds pretty good to this day. But trust me, guys, if you go on Amazon, if you go to Best Buy, you could find a good mic for less than $100. You don't need to go spend $200-300 on a mic. It doesn't need to be Dolby Cinema quality audio, but as long as it doesn't give me a headache listening to it with headphones on, I think that's pretty good. All right, guys, moving on to the third thing on this list, and that is a tripod. Tripods are good for stabilizing your shots and just giving you more shot options in general. This way you don't always got to be holding the camera like this. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, you do not need to spend a lot of money on a tripod. You should not be spending more than $50 on a tripod when you're starting out, because they're very cheap. You can get really cheap ones on Amazon. I personally have two tripods. I have this big one that my dad gave me years ago. I don't even know where he got it from, but it works. It gets the job done. It's good for when I'm in my room and I want to get taller shots. But the one that I use most of the time is this small Ulanzi tripod. I like this one because it has bendy legs. I think I got it for like $20-25 on Amazon. But it's cool because it has the bending legs, and it also has like a thing where if you want to put your phone here, you can put your phone on it too. So I can use it for my camera and my phone. But yeah, that's a simple one. Tripods, guys, do not spend a lot of money on a tripod, but they do come in handy. All right, guys, and the last thing on this list is an editing software. This is so you can put the whole video together, because without this, you're just gonna have a bunch of clips that you don't know what to do with. There's a bunch of them out there that you could buy, like the Adobe Suite, like Final Cut Pro, but if you're just starting off, just use a free one, bro. You don't need to go spend $300 on an editing software. When I started off, I was using iMovie, and then eventually I moved on to Final Cut Pro, which was like $300 or something like that. But as of right now, ever since I got my PC, I've been using DaVinci Resolve, which is free, and I really like this software because I feel like it's really easy to grow with, and there's thousands of YouTube tutorials on it. I know some people use CapCut. I've never personally used that one, but There's a bunch of free ones out there, guys, so just find one that works for you. Don't be afraid to try out different ones until you get one that you like. There's tons of YouTube tutorials out there. It's gonna take a while to master it, but you'll get the hang of it after a few weeks. Alright guys, so there you have it. Those are all the pieces of gear that I think are essential when you're getting into vlogging. But at the end of the day, one thing I want to say is gear is cool, but it is not what's gonna make your videos good. It's not what's gonna make people want to watch your videos. What really matters most at the end of the day is you and how you use what you have to tell your story. You could have the most expensive setup in the world, but if you're not confident on camera, if you don't know how to use it, if you're not doing or saying anything interesting or conveying what you're doing in an interesting way, nobody's gonna want to watch the video, bro. But on the flip side, you could have a dirt cheap setup, but be very confident on camera, know how to use the setup to the best of your ability, film yourself doing something interesting or talking interesting or get creative shots, and at the end of the day, that's gonna be a good video. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I used to let not having the best gear stop me from making vlogs for a very long time, and I don't think anybody else should have to deal with that because we live in an era right now where it is very easy and accessible to start vlogging. It really wasn't until the start of this year when I just started picking up my camera more often, vlogging my life, filming my days, doing things interesting that I realized the gear was never holding me back. It was really just me overthinking it, that was. And am I making the best vlogs in the world right now? Probably not, but at the end of the day, I'm making vlogs that I enjoy making and I'm making vlogs that I'm happy with, and I feel like that's what matters most at the end of the day. So if you're just starting out, stop focusing on trying to be perfect and just focus on starting, guys. Focus on learning your camera, getting comfortable recording yourself, learning how to edit and finding your rhythm, because at the end of the day, that's what makes a good video, not the gear. But alright guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Thank you for watching, especially if you made it to the end. Do your boy a favor and like and subscribe if you haven't already. My name is Max, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Wake up out the door, it's time to get this money. So many pitfalls in my life, that shit ain't even funny. Them rainy nights had them days looking mad sunny. My clothes nice, remember when them shits was mad